Hello, everybody, and welcome to our new episode. Very excited because this past week we had the pleasure of being on Initiative League's Twitch stream. So if you head on over to twitch.tv/Initiative League, you can check out the recording of that. Also, in bigger news, we are now going to be streaming our own adventures. So please keep an eye out for our Twitch link at Chaotic Stupid Podcast. Other than that, it's been fantastic. Hope you enjoy the new episode. Peace. So during our last session, Archduke Narenheim had approached you guys after all the shenanigans, the avoiding of a fight with a dragon, cough cough, and said it's time to take back Terrevon and end this reign once and for all. Looking at Narenheim, he now looks definitely older than you've seen him, since there have been 200 years that passed, but he only looks about 65 years of age, bearing in mind that he is human. At this point, he explains to you that the only reason he's still alive is while encased in stone, their time stood still. They did not age, they did not get sick, they remained perfectly preserved at that point. He then proceeds to let all of you know that Cernleia's army stands tall and strong, quarter Turesque guards, each a carbon copy of the next, and no less deadly for it. To have a chance, we need to unite the kingdoms of Elisor, to separate the Twin Blades and end her reign once and for all. Destroying the blades is a priority, so this may never happen again. He then rolls out a map on the table in front of you, showing all the kingdoms of Elisor, and asks the party, and you guys all have copies of the map, if there were any kingdoms or any lands that you had questions about. If not, he could kind of just go through all of them and tell you roughly what you could expect and what you could hope to gain by traveling to them.
I am curious of the living swamp.
The Living Swamp, you said?
Yes.
All that is known about the Living Swamp is that you would do your best to avoid it, even if it means extending your travel time elsewhere. It is a quarteresque hatchery, and it's where they're currently creating those guards. It's under full control of Terrevon and very heavily watched and guarded.
I have questions about the blood crystal field.
The Blood Crystal Field is where all magic in this world is said to have originated, and there's creatures there more powerful than any we've ever seen that feed off of magical energy in order to empower themselves.
What about the closest kingdom to us, Nalbina?
That's where you are.
Oh, I thought we were in Terrevon.
No, Terrevon's where you escaped from. Well, escaped / got yeeted off of a cliff.
What's up with the Kingdom of the Dead?
The Kingdom of the Dead is ruled by Salazar the Necromancer. It's inhabited by demons and ghosts, and more necromancers alike. They can prove to be strong allies, yet rumor has it they've even learned how to not only to create, but reverse even the strongest of curses, and hold endless knowledge within those kingdom walls.
So Tilly is probably salivating at the mouth now.
Yeah.
The necromancer
what about-
is salivating at the mouth now.
We
Yes.
also, I want to know about Brennar, because that's the easiest place to get to from where we are. That hasn't already been told that we're going to die if we go there.
That's true.
Brennar
It looks like we would need a ship to cross, though.
Yeah.
Yes, and one will be provided. Brennar is a central location, and it's a trade hub for all of the other kingdoms. Pretty much any and all shopping for both goods and information happens there, and there's been an influx of outside races that have been coming through, including more of, and I'm sorry for not knowing the name of your race, but these rabbit people. More of you,
Vieira.
yes, more of you have been seen there.
Sister kindred.
Interesting that they would leave the wood.
Agreed. That doesn't sound like
Bear
them
in
at all.
mind, 200 years have passed from your current timeline.
Thus, now even more questions like what happened to the woods that they would. Like when we left, it was a scandal. Like nobody ever leaves the wood.
It's very uncharacteristic for Angel to leave any wood behind.
Wow.
You saw a shot and you took it.
You know what? I gotta commend you. That was a good one.
But also, can you blame him?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like the oh god, I just completely blanked on the name. Bernard sounds like a place you should probably go to sooner rather than later.
Brennar would be an excellent start to even find out pretty much anything you need to, or just get some shopping done should you guys need to get provisions for the journey ahead. Would you like to know about the other kingdoms on the map while we're at it?
Sure.
There's the
More.
kingdom of Graildor, which you should know well as the elf capital. However, things have changed since you last visited. King Atronel still rules, and there's tales that his hand was severed by blocking a portal 500 years ago, trying to stop Srinlea from taking the blades. Since that time, he's very much become a recluse and only allows the city open for trade opportunities. There's Requia. It's a dwarf capital. They work as hard as they fight and drink even harder. To get their respect, you'll need to prove your might against Brahm, the giant dwarf. He currently reigns as champion in a bare knuckle fight league and is also their king. Be it against him or taking up arms alongside him, it's the only way to get to get through to him is power. Sorry, stumbled over my own words.
What you're
There's
saying is
the
you get
kingdom.
Dragonborn silly at him.
I'm sorry.
And so what you're saying is, so we throw the Dragonborn and Lupo at him.
You could. There is the
I
kingdom
was
of
thinking about throwing myself at him, so
just yeet.
Flute.
not like that.
I mean,
I
that
was
might
thinking
work.
about throwing myself and my axe at him.
That could work too.
I mean, he could be very kinky. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe he likes to have an
God.
axe driven.
She's a little young to be throwing at people in that sort of way.
Maybe he has a
And
thing
what
for
about the
Muppets.
kingdom of Explora?
Thank you.
Wait, what'd you say, Angel?
What about the kingdom of Explora?
It's a kingdom far to the northwest in the mountains, and it's the home of Dragonborn. They're not necessarily against visitors, but they don't welcome them either. At that point, Nerenheim looks to Tilly, and he remembers her saying that she was Dragonborn, and also the pendant that she wears looks very closely to their sigil, and may be a key to gaining their trust. Currently, their king, Tad, sits atop the throne.
I have an idea or a suggestion. We should start by heading out to Brenner and getting any information or materials and shopping that we need to get done. Also, just check out the local cuisine and whatnot.
Do
And
we
then
have
we should head
money
over
yet?
to that. Oh, yeah. Do we have money yet, Scott?
Currency in this game yet?
No, I've been really lazy on that front. However, it's also not going to hurt you. Like, there'll be shops. You'll be able to get potions and maybe some new weapons and armor and shit if you need it.
So we could go from Brenner to Requia to then just, if not, just straight up beat his ass, we could at least train and get stronger with them. And then once we've got them as allies, we should head over to Exlora. So that way we can see what's going on with the Dragonborn and also find out more about Tilly's sigil.
That
I
sounds
trust
like
the
a
bunny on
plan
this
to
one.
me.
I actually like
For
this
once, we trust the bunny.
For once, we trust the bunny.
I would like to still point out that I was completely right in shooting a sleep spell at that idiot.
You did good.
Thanks, Dad.
So, are you going to be heading over to Brunnar first?
Yeah, Brennar sounds like the best course of action.
Solid choice.
Agreed.
You are provided a boat, and your boat is captained by none other than your merfolk friend Pefna.
Nah!
Yay! Do you have more fish?
He kind of looks down sadly at the ground. He's like, "No, but I could catch some on the way."
Yay!
Ooh,
So,
that
would you
means we're
guys
having
like
grilled
to?
fish on the way.
Would you guys like to just begin your journey at this time?
I
Is
don't see
there
anything stopping
anything?
us.
Is there
Yeah,
anything of note that we should look at in Albina?
Right now, you've been just given information. The kingdom itself is more just a stronghold. It's not like a town or anything. It's more of just a standalone fortress.
Ooh. My Final Fantasy training tells me that this is a prison.
No, it is not.
Then I
I
am
like
totally
how-
ready to head out.
No, it is not.
No, it's not.
All right, so y'all get in your
This
boat
is
with
not a prison.
Pefna, and Pefna very excitedly just set sail northwest to Brunnar. Well, to the coast closest to it, at least.
Side
Now-
note, Scott, I think your video froze.
I'm sorry.
Pretty sure your video froze.
My camera temporarily disconnected, and I'm too lazy to do anything to fix it. So you guys can just stare at me in that pose.
You are just
Nice.
eternally pensive.
I mean,
Yes.
call it
You're
what
the
it is.
perpetually exhausted DM. I feel it's fitting.
As I say, I think that's pretty much every DM. A lot of work goes into making things.
We should get a good screenshot of this for the website.
Okay, if someone wants to screen cap it,
I'm on it right now.
awesome.
I look like an egg, but
Everybody likes eggs.
it's my glass. Block out the eyebrows.
Because, I just don't want. So you've all reached the kingdom of Brunnar, and the city is bustling. I want to say the word people, but it's not the right thing. So there are entities of all races just running
Well, people
about.
are people no matter their race.
You know what I mean? When I say people, I'm thinking human. Humanoid.
It's very
Full of life.
that's
Yeah.
very humanist of you.
Yeah, what could I say?
It's very creaturist of you.
What?
Creaturist.
Yes. What could I say? I'm a horrible, horrible creaturist. And yeah, what do you guys want to do? City's bumping. There's all sorts of shops. There's food. There's taverns, and there's people. I want to use just the word people everywhere.
Hi there, boys.
I think we should go to a tavern because innkeepers always know what's going on.
I agree with the cat.
And yes, there's boys. That'd be a hell of a weird little plot device if there was not a single male in this entire city.
Except for our shitty ass paladin,
He's not with you anymore.
who we should have killed.
Don't worry, you'll see him again at some point.
He was pretty.
He was very pretty, but as
He
we've
was
learned
pretty
from
awful.
real life, pretty boys are usually the worst.
True.
I'm gonna keep my very
Pretty
specific
valid.
self.
Very specific. What?
I'm gonna keep my very specific comment to myself.
Okay.
So yeah, I say we go to the tavern and just get like, I don't know, one of those things where it's like you can tell a lot by the nightlife when about a city,
Yeah,
like of how it has its nightlife and how people get along or don't get along.
I was just
like
going,
a
fuck you, it's noon. But yeah, nightlife works.
just like a
Oh, it's
nice
new.
like it's noon. Okay, we should probably go get a bite to eat before going to the tavern.
I never
I
actually
mean,
set a time. I just wanted to say fuck you, it's noon because you said nightlife.
The evening life. Let's find like a nice like middle lower class tavern. You know, where like working men, but like the hypes also may be frequent.
So that is something you can definitely see upon looking at the city. There's not like a distinct richer area or anything. It's all in the same. So everybody's intermingled.
Then let's go find a tavern that just looks like it's having the most fun.
A
Like
fun
the most
tavern.
peaceful.
I figure a more like crowded tavern would also have like leads on anyways to make like money because we're gonna still need like stuff for our travels.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are heading to the tavern first, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. I didn't know where we landed on that. Shit. I had a tab with the name generator open and it went away.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'm so used to using a magnetic pen cushion. I just tossed my pen onto what I'm using as a pen cushion, expected it to stick.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you are greeted by a female dwarf barkeep named Iron Boulder Whisk. And she just heartily welcomes all of you with a smile and asks what she can do for you.
A beer.
She looks at you and she's like eyeing you. You can tell she's wondering if you're old enough. But then she's also like, fuck it, this is a fantasy realm. Age doesn't matter. And she hands you a beer.
I mean, I'm really tall, so that helps, right?
True. But just, I'm basing it on your character art to say you have a really young face.
Oh yeah, definitely have a really young face.
So, but again, it's fantasy world, so fuck it. 16-year-old, drink your drink. I'm gonna send you guys to a real uppity, rules-heavy town one of these days and just throw a curveball at you.
Mm-hmm. Some tea and whatever your special is tonight, please.
Oh, and food. What is your nightly special for me too? Two of them.
Tonight's special is a leg of venison,
Ooh.
so I hope you're hungry.
Yes, please. I would like 2 of those and your largest glass of ale.
Okay, so for the human, we have one leg of venison, one beer. For the cat, we got tea and a leg of venison. For I don't want to be offensive, so for you, tall one, we have 2 legs of venison and a large beer. And for you, the Viera,
I think I'll just have an ale for now.
done. She almost like lightning quick just whips everything up and presents it to you.
I find a table in the middle of everything so we can listen for rumors.
Rula very happily grabs her stuff and walks over and just sits down next to him.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, thank you.
How long have you been working this tavern?
Oh, wow. I was born and raised in this town and started working the tavern pretty much as soon as I could lift a glass.
Ah, so family affair then. Nice, nice.
Yes.
So if you've lived here your whole life, what's your favorite area of town?
Me personally, right here, right in the tavern district. It's what I've grown up with, it's what I know and love. And I feel we get the most interesting people coming through the taverns.
Oh, have many stories, do you?
I don't really have the stories. It's them that bring the stories with them. I just feel I get to meet so many this way. Whereas if I was working a shop, I feel like I just get very specific customers. If it was an armor smith, I'd only get people that were interested in better arming themselves. But everybody needs to eat and drink. And that's where the tavern comes in.
That is very true. Well, thank you so much for your time. And I'm going to go sit down at the table.
Thank you. So everybody sitting at the table, I assume?
I believe so.
So looking around, you just see tables filled. Pretty much the whole place is packed out, just as packed as the streets were when you were walking through. You do notice while looking around that there is one table that has two Vieras sitting at it. And aside from that, there's really nothing else of note unless you want to count that for the first time in a long time, you see tables with human and elves mingling together, which was a bit of a scarcity in your timeline.
Sister, look.
There's more.
I'll be right back. I just heard a noise.
Okay.
Go.
Did you want to go talk to Viera table?
Yes.
I think I'm going to let you handle this one.
guess all
So I
things
walk over to the
considered-
table.
Yeah, so all things considered, Lita looks a little more Viera than Lupo does.
Just a little bit.
Can we stitch big bunny ears onto Lupo?
Please?
Or is
Just
that
Oh my
big,
appropriate?
God.
fluffy bunny ears.
I just imagine we get her like one of those like headbands that has bunny ears on them.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm. Ooh, can we get magical bunny ears? A magical bunny ear headband. I would wear that.
They twitch when you hear noises.
And if somebody knows the magical curse word, it turns her into a bunny temporarily.
Oh, damn it.
Now, I'm not going to pull any weird monkey's paw shit with this. Actually, hold on one second. There's a dog whining outside of the room. I'm just going to let him in here with me.
No worries.
Okay, the noise was nothing, and I'm mostly back. I'm just semi AFK because I'm wireless.
Okay, I am back. I had to let the dog in because he was laying outside the room crying because he was separated from me.
Aww.
And now he is climbing on my chair with his toy hanging out of his mouth.
Okay, now you need to refresh your camera.
You need to
Oh,
put your
it's
camera
fully,
on.
fully disconnected. Next time he jumps up, I'll snap a shot and send it.
Please.
That I will do. So you head over to the table with the other Viera. What do you say?
I ask them what woods that they hail from.
That's a question I wasn't expecting. Loomville Forest.
I can't say that's a wood that I've ever heard of. You, sister?
No, I've never heard of that before.
Where are you from? Yeah, gonna make you have to think about this shit too, because I don't think that was in your backstory.
No, it isn't my backstory. I just have to
Oh.
open it. I wrote what woods we came from because there's only so many that Vieira can come from. At least for 200 years ago, there was.
Yes.
Okay, so me and Lupo came from. Oh crap! Hold on, it's here somewhere. So essentially, we call it the wood, but it's called Galmore Jungle.
Gomor Jungle. Oh. How long have you been gone?
That's an interesting answer. What would you say if I told you we might have fallen through a time portal?
I'd say anything's possible with how rapidly this world has changed.
So we technically left our homewood 202 years ago?
Most Vieira homewoods, including Galmor, were lost when Cernleia took power.
Okay, so we have someone to kill now.
I mean, I wish you the best of luck, but Cernleia rules Terrevon, and while she's got those swords, you're not even going to get close to her. But if you can, please do.
For the woods. And I hold up my drink.
For the woods, she holds up her drink, and the one next to her falls out of her stool because she's been drinking a lot.
Perhaps that one praises the wood a little too much.
You hear from the ground, "For the woods!" I'll tell you what. Should you actually find a way to infiltrate and attack Terrevon, my name is Nerla. That on the ground is Ludhilna. We will help you.
Hold on. I'm adding you to my allies list.
I'm going to spell those names out for you. Nerla
Yeah,
and
or could you write them in Discord? I'll just copy and paste.
those are the two of them.
I shall put them down as Vieira comrades.
Perfect. And just a cursory glance at them, they're both rangers.
Which makes sense. Most Vieira are either spearmen, rangers, or swordsmen. I was not looked upon well when I was like, I want to do magic.
Speaking of Vieira, and a little off topic, what do you think of the soon-to-be inclusion of male Vieira in Final Fantasy XIV?
Bitch, do not talk to me right now about that because I'm so fucking excited. Even though it veers a little bit off from the
good. I think you're
lore,
going to be angry.
even though it veers a little bit off from the lore, because those men are only used for one purpose, breeding.
Maybe
But
that'll be the new class.
I'm down to see these bunny boys.
Breeder is going to be a new class.
That's how I felt when there was male Mikute, because they're based on Mithra from Final Fantasy XI, and there was only females.
Yeah, that's why when the Rogadin got females because they're from Galka from 11, I
Yes.
was like, what? Plus
Yes,
the
I was
female
very
Rogadin.
surprised. Yeah, I used to have a male Rogadin that looked like Shrek.
Whenever I see a really good female Rogadin, my body's like, I'm confused.
I actually started playing the free trial of that game again recently. I don't know if I actually want to buy in and pay money yet, but the free trial lets you go to 60. So. Anyway, so you have met Vieira. You have made allies for coming battle, should you need them. What else do you guys want to do while in the tavern/town?
I want to listen for rumors while I'm eating.
So listening around, it's mostly just a bunch of people drunk and celebrating. You're not getting much in the way of rumor. Bear in mind that aside from you guys who are on a mission to rally people to help overthrow the kingdom, everybody else is just going about their day to day.
You said they're celebrating. What are they celebrating?
Oh, just life. Like, when you come home and have a drink after work.
Oh, I thought that was called depression.
I mean, I do it with a smile. Am I happy depressed?
I thought that was
Yes.
called congratulations, you made it through the day without murdering anybody.
I mean, working from home's made that easier. It's also made it easier to drink while working, but that's a different story, and I'll edit this out since some of my coworkers listen. But yeah, without asking specific questions or leading questions to anyone, you're not going to really get much in the way of information.
I want to go up to the barkeep again and ask them where would it be well, since now we're in the future and probably more is known about my style of magic, I ask her if there is any kind of shop or somewhere that deals with like fate-based magic or just like tarot card reading or astromancy.
So you're not going to find much as far as magic goes in this town. However, a journey to Narlex or the Kingdom of the Dead should yield better results. However, Narlex is a lot of people have been avoiding that since that's where Cernlea is originally from.
Well, great.
But they do have some of the strongest magic there, so you could make the journey. They're not hostile. As long as you don't have a blood feud with Cernlea or anything, you'll be fine. That's probably a bit disappointing to hear since you guys are literally on a mission to overthrow her. But nobody else knows that. Nobody outside of Nalbina and your party knows that. Well, and these
They
two
don't
Viera.
even if they did know, they don't know what we look like.
Yeah, the only ones that would actually know what you look like would be the Teresks that threw you off the cliff, Cernlea herself, and Grisham. So yeah, technically you could safely go to Narlex just as long as you don't like oust yourselves as being on what you want to do.
Well, then, do we want to? I'm completely down for going to where the Dragonborn are while making a pit stop in Requia.
I mean, Requia
Because
is a direct pass through on your way there.
Yeah.
yeah, because I don't know if we're
Before we
strong enough to
go,
even tempt going to Narlex yet.
there is there any elves that are, at least 200 years old in the bar?
Roll perception. That was the first roll of the night.
Woohoo!
I'm enjoying my food. I got a 4.
Okay, well, Angel rolled a really nice perception. So, looking around, at least Angel's character could see and possibly pass on the information should they choose to. You see a few elves. It's hard to age them as they do have just very, very young appearances until they get extremely old. But you do happen to notice one who's a bit older and a bit grayer, who actually bears the sigil of Greldor on the sleeve of his jacket.
Now that looks like someone we should be talking to.
Yeah. Um, After I finish my food and my beer, I want to walk up and say, "Excuse me, sir, were you around before?"
I've been around since before today. What are you asking?
I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. Hold on. Mhm. Any help from anybody? My brain doesn't work.
Any chance you were in this general area back in Greldor about 200 years ago?
Yes, I was, and my memory is really, really foggy. I remember at one point, or it was real enough, but may have just been a dream, that Atronel had fallen in battle with Terrevon, but then in a blink, he was back alive, missing a hand, and Terrevon had risen to unbelievable power under Sir Leia.
Oh boy.
No, that was real.
That was most definitely
Nope, that's
real.
not happening.
What did you just roll a 1 on?
What did? Yeah.
You know what? Oh fuck, Tula, roll a perception check.
Fuck. Okay. Sorry. Now my computer decides to freeze. Are you shitting? There we go.
Typical.
Perception?
Yes.
Okay. Where's my...
Ah, that's so low. No, I'm not gonna give it to you. You don't notice. Do you guys have any other questions for the older elf gentleman?
I'm missing
Do you have
something.
any advice for anybody? Do you have any advice for anybody headed to Requia?
Just stick with the roads, and they're pretty cool. Really fun to drink with, but I guarantee you will pass out, and they will still be drinking. So don't challenge any of them to that.
Quick question. Can Muppet-borns get drunk?
We were having this conversation another time, and it essentially comes down to we don't know if they can get drunk or they can get poisoned.
Right.
Because technically they don't have bloodstreams and they don't actually ingest their food. They just nom it. So we could give it a shot.
Trying to see if I can find anything. Because, I mean, I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking use that as a
Drinking
challenge. Right?
contest.
Well, so the way a drinking contest would work is it would be constitution challenges, and if you fail 3 of them against him, then you lose. What? Wait, your mouth is filled with blood? I'll edit that out, but are you okay? I think she ran off.
Oh, because the tonsillitis.
Oh, right. Still, holy shit.
Unfortunately, it happens sometimes. It sucks.
Yeah, I had my tonsils removed very, very young. Well, anyway, so I could, since you'd be the one doing the drinking contest, I'll go back through the explanation. And effectively, what would happen is you would do constitution rolls against the person you're competing with. And if you lose 3, you lose the contest. Since you're a Muppet born, what I would do is I'd let you roll with advantage every turn.
Fair enough.
I feel like that's a good way to say you're not immune to getting drunk, but you have a better chance of not getting
I want to ask the elf what else he remembers about 200 years ago.
It was just a dark time for a lot of us as Sir Leia took over. Atronel barred the gates for a while and would not open the city up for trade until Sir Leia finished her takeover and was effectively in charge. She did eventually release Terrevon from stone, which was nice of her.
She did?
Yes, as she took it over.
When? How long ago?
Ooh, it was probably about 100 years ago. 100? No, more like 50 years ago.
And that Tilly visibly shrinks down into herself.
Are you okay?
My family was stone.
I'm terribly sorry to hear that.
I was hoping to see them again, but human lives, they're short.
Well,
Possible that if they were turned to stone, they're not exactly dead, are they?
Well, if they were turned to stone and then turned back alive 100 years ago, human lives are short.
grandfather, that probably wouldn't bode well.
My mom might, for sure.
Right.
My mom would be very, very old.
Yes, and being the same age.
You know, the people that were turned to stone stay in Terrevon mostly, or did they go elsewhere?
Some stayed out of fear for certainly waging war on other cities. They figured it was safer to be there. And Tula, I see that you're back. Are you okay?
Fine. The thingy just like popped, and I was like, okay, we're not gonna puke on camera, and ran. And someone wanted snuggles when I went to go get a saline wash, so he came back up with me.
Gotcha. Okay, just as long as you're good, I want to make sure.
No, I would have sent another message if I was like TKO'd, but
Sorry, guys, I'm done for the night.
yeah, I ate scratchy food before sitting down, and I think that's what did it.
Oh, that could be it. So you didn't really miss much in the way of information that would affect your character.
I heard most of it.
Okay.
My
I
computer's
feel like
frozen.
there's a chance that my mom might be in Explorer, though.
You think she might be an Xlara with the dragons?
I mean, she might have gone to find my dad.
True. I guess there's only one way to find out. So is there anything else you guys needed to do within Brennar before heading over to Requia?
I don't think so, because I think we're pretty good on provisions and whatnot. We just need to figure out to make sure that we're going the right way so we don't get lost.
Is there regular trade between Brennar and Requia?
So every town just brings their wares here to sell them. But as far as I feel like you're trying to secure passage to Requia,
Yeah.
There's carriages that go constantly, and someone will be sure to take you.
Yeah, either passage or a guide, but I think passage would be easier.
Yeah, so it would be about a 3-day carriage ride from here.
I'm assuming we have the funds to secure
Yes.
that passage.
Yes, because DM is too lazy to figure out a currency system or something where you guys have currency. Yes, you have money for that.
Does anybody else have an opinion on getting passage?
There don't happen to be any more teleportation portals open nearby, are there?
Are you asking DM or are you asking the elf?
Right now, the elf.
Teleportation? That's a forbidden art.
Good to know that.
How long has that been forbidden?
since Sir Leia took over.
And why is it forbidden?
I'm not going to ask her. But
That is a fair
one would
response.
assume that if you could teleport and find a way to secure travel through time, which I've heard rumors of, you'd be able to undo what she has done.
I think the carriage ride's our best bet.
Yeah, it seems the
agree.
most direct path to get there.
I don't see a point in wasting time trying to walk it.
That's pretty smart. So you all ready for a fantastic voyage?
I'm going on an adventure. And you're getting with it.
How
Perfect.
dangerous is the road typically between?
So there's actually, as far as our typical D&D threat, which would be bandits on a road,
Mm-hmm.
there's very little in the way of attacks, primarily because everybody's so focused on just keeping their heads down and avoiding conflict as Sir Leia's Terrevon guards do patrol all roads.
Okay. I was thinking we could maybe even get paid to get passage by acting as guards.
Oh yeah, that could.
That
But
would not be
it
necessary.
was worth a shot.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that all the roads were commonly patrolled by guards as it is, then you'd be fine, and most people wouldn't want to take up arms against a Terrevon guard.
Pretty quarter Turesque anyway.
Yeah, them quarter Terrasque be scary.
Don't fuck with them. No.
You guys didn't actually get to fight one of the guards. It was more of a strength contest, try to not get shoved into the water.
That was fun.
In which we failed.
No, I didn't fail.
Yeah, not all of you failed.
Oh, no,
I
I
did.
jumped. You're also made of Muppet.
And then you got shrunk.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was weird.
As if Wet Muppet got put in the dryer or something.
No!
Warning, Muppet, air dry only.
That needs to be a shirt.
Wet dry only.
If we could come up with actual original character art, maybe, then that'd be something that could get worked into a shirt.
I mean, is the shape of that specific Muppet copyrighted?
I think as long as the features were far enough from...
Okay, then yeah, we give Lupo giant bunny ears and like maybe a comically oversized bunny nose, so it's very obvious that they're still a Muppet born, but like
I mean, that's out of my comfort zone with art, so...
Yeah, I don't draw.
I could edit, but I can't.
So, okay, my dude was talking to me because he found this miniature of a Yuzum, which is a sci-fi creature, which is like a massively large Ewok. So I was thinking we could probably go something like that without hindering too much on things.
so you're like
Okay.
an Ewok Muppet hybrid.
Kind of. I'm like a massively large Ewok Muppet thing.
Ewok on
That's-
steroids.
That's low-key terrifying to think about.
That's why I like it so much.
And when in doubt, just like throw something in kind of shitty Photoshop and use that as a reference for your artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may end up hitting up the unnamed artist, the one that works with the Corsairs, to see if I can get her to do one. And Ryan's got somebody else. That's also an artist that specializes mostly in D&D type stuff. So I may hit them both up and see what they can come up with.
Okay, that'd be
I need to get art for 2.
I need to finish this sewing project so I can make a cosplay of Tilly.
Oh, I need to start working on my garb for Tula too.
I personally want to see Tilly's transformation into her dragon form go a little wonky and have her be dragon sized but still look the same. It'd be terrifying. It'd be like Honey, I Blew
That'd
Up
be
a Kid.
hilarious.
But instead of like scales, you would just have like eczema.
Oh,
Do you needeth some ointment? All right, so are we securing a carriage?
Yes.
yes.
You find a carriage piloted by a dwarf named Brawl Duvrids, and he just kind of looks at you, looks at the space he has in the back, and he's like, "Hop on in. Let's go to Requia."
Wait, weren't we gonna check out the nightlife here first?
I think we did that with the
We
tavern.
did.
There was never actually a set time of day.
Okay.
Yeah, I mentioned time of day, and I think I just fucked with everything. So, a very uneventful ride later, you reach Requia, and as you get there, their gates are wide open. You guys are a bit, just tired from sitting in a carriage for 3 days. And you see in what looks like a makeshift fighting ring a very large dwarf currently throwing somebody over the ropes. Everybody roll perception.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow.
We
Okay.
see all, motherfucker.
Oh, this is amazing. I'm just waiting for Hillary's roll to come in. I'm hoping she rolls high enough too. Okay, so I spoke too soon. Everybody but Lupo could immediately tell that this giant dwarf, who is their king, is actually just a human with dwarven proportions.
Oh dear.
The
So
guy
he's
that
tall.
the dwarf king threw hit Lupo.
Yes, that's why she couldn't tell what he looked like.
Lupo
So
just got
you guys see just this really tall, muscular, dwarven proportioned human, and he just keeps throwing people out of the ring. And then he looks, he's like, "Ah, visitors!" And he jumps over the ropes and lands and comes over to greet you guys. I'm King Brahm. Welcome to Requiem.
Hello.
Hello, thank you
Hello,
for
King.
the welcome. And I bow.
He chuckles and is like, "Please don't be so formal with me. Makes me very uncomfortable."
Mm.
And I will
Should
run
we
up
call
and
him
give
out
him
for
a
being
bear
a
hug.
human?
He accepts the bear hug.
Tilly looks absolutely shocked at that.
At the bear hug?
I pick him
I'm-
up and everything. It's fine. He said not to be formal.
Very true. He did say that. But
I'm
also,
tempted to be like, I'd be uncomfortable too if I was surrounded by a bunch of people who thought I was a different race.
that's fair. But I am also going to say it's time to take 5 because Amber just got home and she has alcohol. So, you have all met King Brahm and he has been properly hugged. What you guys got?
So what is going on there? And I'll point to the wrestling ring.
Well, number one, I like my troops to stay well seasoned for combat, so we very commonly fight. And I am presently undefeated, so I usually take a few of them on at a time. But also, it's just kind of fun.
I'd like a go.
I think we would all like a go.
Well, what kind of go are all of you asking for? You look really young. No offense.
I can
You
fight.
don't necessarily look like a dwarf, and yet you're here.
I'm a giant dwarf.
Whoa, somebody just got called
Sure.
out.
So
Forgive me, as
you're
someone who's traveled, there are no giant dwarves.
there is one.
Sure, Jan.
Then you must be an anomaly. And then I'd love to beat you so I can study you.
Well, I like the sound of that. So are
What?
we?
When he says Tilly looks young, she looks very indignant, and then pulls out her axe right away.
Oh no, we go bare knuckled. If you want to use weapons, that's war.
I put away my axe and just. All right, let's go.
We shall do this.
Does magic count as bare knuckle as well?
You know, it's literally just throwing fists. So for you, it would be unarmed attacks, which are 1d4. And I had a cheat that would serve for him.
Well, Hudson was not a fan of that. Please tell me someone else heard that.
I did not hear anything.
Ah, damn it. Scott said that's 1d4, and a very indignant sound was made. So we're fisticuffing it, right?
Fisticuffs.
Hey, who's going first?
Lupo, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Sure. I'll play in the ring.
I'm going to run to the restroom real quick.
You just had all that time.
I know, but I'm not fist fighting here. I'm just watching.
Fair.
So, just so you know,
Does he look like he's hurting at all right now?
I'm gonna give you just some full DM transparency here. He has 3 HP left,
Nice. So next one to land a hit wins, essentially.
pretty much. Oh,
No.
feeling shook, and he just throws a haymaker at you, and as he connects, your back goes against the ropes, and you go up and over and
No!
starts jumping around in place, all proud of himself. He's like, "Yeah, king of the dwarves."
That was very close.
And he points to a dwarf in robes and says, "You make this better." And you and him both get full healed.
I'm gonna go up and shake his hand and be like, that was good. That was a nice fight.
You took me a lot farther than I thought you would. Well done.
I'm gonna, without hesitation, jump in the arena now.
All right. Roll up initiatives. Ooh.
Where
Is it-
is initiative? I always lose it.
It's
At
towards
the
like,
very top.
Lewis just
There it is.
moved up to the side of the ring like, oh god.
All right, so he goes first this time. And he's like, you know what? You're so young. I'll let you go first. And he like actually bends over to give you a free shot.
I actually get pissed at that. And it's taking everything I have not to rage, because
I'll say-
raging would.
I'll say that you can reckless, but you can't do your fire aura.
Okay,
But-
so I can.
but also-
Can I use all of my like rage stuff?
Are any of them bonus?
Well, I
damage?
like rage itself is separate from the fire aura.
Okay.
So I'm going to punch him
And
miss.
you were so mad, and like your eyes were just so enraged.
Yeah,
Sees
I
straight.
was livid, and
He looks at you and he's like, "All right, well, no offense, but," and I know a 22 hits.
Oh, yeah.
He just comes in straight.
Yeah,
with
my AC
jab.
is 14, so
Okay. His is in case you're in track last round, it's a 16 is what it takes to hit.
Okay.
So yeah, he just pops you for 6 damage right off the bat.
Jesus Christ. All right. Reckless attack again. Holy crap! Did I just double fail?
Oh my god, he rolled 2 1s. All right, roll a d100. I don't think I've ever
Oh,
seen.
honey.
What the fuck?
Oh my god, that's like the first time I've ever seen that happen. Oh god.
Uh,
You break a bone in your hand.
Oh,
Suffer
shit.
disadvantage for the rest of the encounter and take 1d6 damage every round until healed. God damn.
Well done.
Yeah.
Right.
So what I do is I'm actually just pissed at all the age comments. I go to punch him, but he's like down low, and I just punch straight down into the ground.
Okay, I was picturing you hit like the turnbuckle, like the ring post or something.
Oh, that would work too.
Either of those works because goddamn. All right, roll a 1d6.
Meanwhile,
I'm
Tula and
sitting there
Lupo
like,
just
Yeah, so
uh,
you got a broken hand. You're clearly hurting, and he's like, "I'm sorry," and he just punches you right in the face.
when I come to, I'm like wiping, the blood off of me. I'm like, that was fun.
Tula and
And
Lupo are just like kind of crouched over you, like, oh good, okay, she's breathing. We're fine. She's breathing.
well, he snaps his fingers for his healer friend to fill everyone back up. So are the rest of you trying this too, or are we calling this a day? Like, what's going on?
I talked a big game. I at least have to put my money where my mouth is, or get fucked up trying.
All right. So roll your initiative. Oh God! All right, you're going first.
Did you see the roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
it'd
I'm
be
going.
a d20 plus your dex mod to hit, and then
I actually have a.
oh, you have it unarmed. Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
have an
Click
unarmed
that
strike.
then.
Quick question. I also have claws.
No, that counts as using a weapon.
Okay, I was gonna say I was pretty sure that's off the table anyway, but
I was saying if you want to use claws, I'll go get like a Kestis or something. But first hit was a miss. Wait,
sorry,
oh, 2 hits.
I accidentally double clicked.
Oh, okay. All right, so you take a swing at him, and it's a miss, and he's feeling really good. He's bouncing around the ring because this is now his 3rd consecutive fight. So you're a little rusty, and he's really into it. What's your AC? I'm pretty sure it's higher than 7.
12.
Okay, so yeah, he misses you. He's like, all right, good game, bring it on.
Tula just. I have 1 hit point left.
Oh
Fucker.
my god, really?
I have 1 hit points. Yes. God damn it! Wiped out half my fucking hit points.
That was a killer hit.
Yeah.
Are you tapping out, or are you gonna take your swing?
Fuck it. Why not? I'll take one final swing. Not that I'll shit, but
I mean, you hit him.
I have a feeling he respects us more for actually going till the KO.
You are correct. What's funny too is each subsequent round, because he's been fighting, I've started him with less max HP. You got him so close.
Well,
But
fuck it. I want to turn now then.
Does 11 hit, or
Ooh,
you have a
that's
12?
not a
right?
hit. I have
Oh
12,
man,
yeah.
he felt bad. He doesn't want to hurt you, so it's your turn again. You
Hey,
missed. And for this attack, he's just gonna go to like shove you to the ground. He doesn't really even want to hit you right now because he knows you're hurt. And that's that one.
yep.
He puts out his hand to help you up.
I just get up on my own and I'm like,
All right.
thank you.
Snaps his fingers, has everybody healed up again.
Okay. Fuck it. I'll
Stronger
give
for
it
a
a go.
6'2" panther.
All right. Let's see,
I
initiative.
should
Oh,
just.
Get him,
sorry.
sister.
All right. His initiative was 21, so he's looking spry still.
Ew.
He's just like, well, it's the last of you. Let's do this. I don't know what your AC is, but I'm pretty sure 20 hit.
Yeah, the 20 hits.
So it's actually just 4 plus 3. Ignore that second 4, because the crit roll didn't count. So he hit you for 7.
So you took out my temporary hit points.
Yeah, those are gone from last session.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me do the damage then.
Yes. Yeah, just drop 7 from your HP.
All right, there we go.
And he's just like, all right, let's you're looking pretty raggedy, Rabbit. Let's finish this.
I think this is also just Scott's excuse to be mean to his players.
Little
Ha!
bit.
Try again,
Pretty-
asshole.
I also wasn't expecting each player to individually try to beat him.
We
I
could have
will-
teamed up.
You didn't ask. And that's the end of the fight.
Ah!
He snaps his fingers, gets everybody healed up, and also has a round of drinks brought out for everybody.
Lita's slowly bringing herself up to her feet, catching her breath. It's like, at least I didn't make it easy for you.
No, you didn't. You gave me more of a challenge than I thought you would. All of you did, which was quite impressive. Drinks on me. Also, what brings all of you to my town?
Well, to be truthful, we're just passing through to get to the dragon porn area. But we also heard that you respect people who give them a good fight.
I did.
You
Are
really
laughing because Mike said dragon porn? Yeah, I heard dragon porn and not dragon porn.
All of
What?
us did.
I did not say
all
dragon
heard
porn.
dragon porn.
It definitely.
All
sounded
of us
like
heard
dragon
that.
porn.
Yeah, I want to listen to the playback.
We will listen to the playback. I did not say dragon porn.
You might not have said it, but it's how it came out. And that's all that matters.
I was like, why is everybody laughing?
Just the screen reaction of like the ones on screen realizing, what?
It's the adult shop. I need dragon porn.
Yeah, we're trying to get to XXX Laura.
Ooh.
Nice.
But yes, he does tell you that he respects those who show their strength and asks what he can do for you.
Well, that is the $1 million question here, isn't it?
Hold on, y'all. I
I
forgot why we were coming here in general.
Same.
You're
I
supposed to
I've-
be rallying kingdoms against Terrevon.
Okay.
Right.
Have
So-
you lost anything ever since she took power of Terrevon?
I wouldn't say I've lost anything. I came into this kingdom after Cernleia had already taken power, but she's a bitch. I
Yeah.
just wanna- her town's rough.
I mean, if you want a chance to just punch her, we can help with that.
Are you uprising against the Empress Cernleia?
I look around,
Um,
and I look at the party, and I like, how many people are around us right now?
There's just some stragglers, like just hanging out still in the bleachers, but nobody is like actively leaning in and listening to you guys.
I say I wouldn't say the word uprising.
Uprising is a strong term. I
We're
think a better.
correcting history.
Yeah, we're fixing the timelines. Back
I
to the
don't know
future
what that
style.
means,
You don't
but
have to. You just have to help
I
us.
I like you guys. I'll tell you what. And he gives you. You ever see like the Viking arm bracelets that are pledges?
The
Mhm.
bracers.
Yeah, like but it looks like almost like a little band.
No, it's more like the animal bracelets, the
Yes.
double-headed animal bracelets.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
He presents you one of them and says, "I pledge myself and 150 of my finest fighters. Let me know when the time comes."
Well, adding you to the allies list here.
It's good to be able to count on you as a number among the allies here.
It's not every day a giant dwarf fights beside you.
Quick question though, and I promise this will stay between us. You do know you're not a dwarf, right?
This is. Hey.
He leans in.
I look at Peeta and I'm like, just like I'm not a dragon.
No, no, darling. You are at least part of dragon. This is just a normal man. Just Tula's like enthralled. Like, how do you
Could a
have a
normal
long
man
beard?
have bested the four of you?
Oh,
That's really not
you
hard.
you don't want me to throw my real smoke, Mr. Human Person.
I'm gonna put one massive paw over my face and the other one on my sister's shoulder and be like, "Sister, remember, we're speaking to a friend."
Fine.
He snaps his fingers twice, and about 30 guards surround you. And he says, "Am I talking to a friend or a foe right now?"
Yeah, yeah.
friend.
We are friendly. This one's just an idiot. They're not from here. They don't get the customs thing. We're friends. We're just curious.
I believe you're a dwarf.
Well, thank you. The three of you take your idiot and take this carriage and proceed to Exlora.
I really want to be that person where like Lupo has me thrown over her shoulder where I'm like, give it to me, let me at him, I'll kick his ass.
This is not the time or place for that. Wait
Yeah,
till
mama.
they remember the end goal. We
I
have a
promise you,
specific person we want to do that to.
if you went after him in actual combat, it would have made that day one Grisham fight seem like a walk in the park.
Oh dear.
Oh fuck.
So, King Brahm, I'll say you saw a statue of him, when fully adorned, wears heavy plate and possesses the ability Jotun's Grip and carries two great axes.
Definitely
Your
Mama.
somebody we
Majesty,
want
can
on our
I
side.
see your axes? I'm a fan of them.
Well, sure. He leads you all to his keep and into his armory and wall to wall weapons. But at the end of the armory, you see these two massive great axes, brass handles adorned in jade with just gleaming silver blades on them.
I look at him. May I?
Those axes, unfortunately, and I apologize, are for my hands only.
I understand.
And
Everything in here is very pretty, though.
yes, this is a collection that I've come up with over the years. Some earned, some taken, all through conquest. And while I'm not necessarily wanting to give away any of my prized possessions, just know that you will see these blades when we decide to attack Terrevon.
Lovely. I
His
look
eyes are
forward to
practically
using them.
stars staring at them. Like I'm practically drooling over them.
He remembers that you all gave him a good fight, and he's like, He takes one of the great axes off the wall and hands it to you to hold.
I hold it. I step back so that I'm not like in danger of hitting anybody, and I do a test swing. And I hand it back. I'm like, that's a fine weapon.
Thank you. And one thing you notice is that while you used both hands to swing it, he easily just retrieves it from you and puts it back on the wall one-handed. He's a strong boy. Is there anything else I could help you with before your journey to Explora?
Do you have any advice for, or have you ever had any dealings with anyone from Explora? I know that they aren't violent towards visitors, but they don't exactly welcome them with open arms either.
When I was building my kingdom and taking the land as I did come across King Tad the Great, and very nice fellow. I chose not to fight him because he possessed power that terrified me, to be honest. And
But
luckily, he was.
you've met King Tad. How long is this Tad Cooper?
Yes, actually.
Um, how long has he been king?
After being captive for roughly 100 years, encased in stone, he broke free and started an uprising of Dragonborn that would one day stand against Cernlea and Terrevon. I can't tell you how long exactly he's had this kingdom, but since he's been doing nothing but constantly rebuilding it. And the reason Cernlea has not been able to stop him, and he points up in the direction of Exlora, even though you can't quite see the kingdom, you occasionally see these faint flashes in the background, and there's elder worms that circle.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Give King Tad my regard, should he grant you an audience.
I have reason to believe that we can get an audience.
My question is, should we try getting an audience without exposing your lineage right off the bat? Like, what if we could have this guy write us a letter, or like a writ or something?
Are you saying this in character?
Yeah, I'm saying it to my teammates. It was like, so what if would you be okay with perhaps writing us an introduction letter?
I would, but back up a second. Lineage?
That's like your dad, right, Tilly?
If it's the same Tad.
I'm unaware of any children that Tad may have, but actually, here, hold on a second.
Well, from what I hear, he gets around.
That
Tula
amulet,
just smacks him on his chest. Smacks her on her chest.
that amulet you're wearing matches their flag. Are you sure you've never been there?
Quite positive.
Yeah, I come from a ways away.
I assure you that if you're bearing that, no letter from me would do you any good. I will, however, provide you my fastest carriage.
I appreciate it, sir.
Was there anything else I could help you guys with before your journey?
You have been more than gracious.
Hold on, y'all. Out of character. I just found out my dad's a king.
Yep.
Yo, I just found out I'm Simba, bitch.
Who
Basically.
created a full
Princess
kingdom
Tilly, aw.
to take down the person that we're going after. Army of
Sorry, say that
dragons,
again?
here they come. Okay, I'm done.
I'm gonna
So
be a man.
you guys see this cart pull up, and it's being pulled by 6 wargs. And there's this dwarf in there who doesn't even give you a name, he just gives you a nod. And he has very crude flames painted on the side of the carriage and tells you guys, hold on. The carriage then proceeds to do whatever a carriage version of a burnout would be. It goes, leaving a trail of dust and tire marks. Or I guess wheel marks. You reach Exlora in what felt like no time at all. Maybe a little shaken from the speed at which you traveled, but you guys have time traveled, so at this point nothing shakes you. And you're immediately seen by a guard and says, "What business do you have here?"
I seek audience with the great Tad Cooper.
Do you have an appointment?
He'll make time.
Show him the necklace. Show him the necklace.
He'll make time, and I show him the necklace, the amulet.
He drops the pike he was holding and he's like, yes, right this way. And just clears way through town for you guys to get up to Tad. And you get into Tad's chambers, and without even skipping a beat, he sees the amulet and sees you and says, My daughter? Tilly? And runs to you.
I've actually never met my father before. I don't even know what to say. I stand there shocked, like mouth pretty much on the floor.
A few seconds pass, and from a side room, you hear your name again, and an elderly human comes to you. Female.
I think your mom is still alive.
It's your mother.
Mom?
I'm not going to try to do a girl voice, but yes.
I run to my mom and give her a hug. Like, I stood shocked staring at my father, but then I run to my mom and give her a hug immediately. And
Oh, my daughter.
How did you find us? How did you... Wait. How are you alive? What? Explain everything.
so I say, we'll explain everything over some dinner.
He just calls for the biggest feast to be prepared.
Smooth.
And so I sit down and explain everybody turning to stone and then going back in time and then going forward in time and our rather uneventful journey here in the future.
Well, we
Do you know
fought a
some-
giant dwarf.
Oh, King Brom.
He got thrown off a cliff.
And thrown off a cliff. And into and fought a frost spider thing.
That was
You've
fun.
all had quite a journey. Especially to see so many different eras. Do you know Sir Leia?
I
We met in passing.
You could say we've met.
You say.
also take the time to
Spoiler.
introduce all of my friends, of course.
I kind of figured that was part of the story of everything that happened.
With all of us butting in on our various adventures.
I need Sir Leia to fall, and I've been amassing an army. Are you joining us?
We are looking for allies to take down Sinlea.
Who are you working for?
We're trying to correct time. We're not working for anybody.
We're just trying to make sure that this doesn't happen again in our timeline.
I understand time travel, but I want the Twin Blades for myself.
We can
Dun,
figure
dun,
that out on
dun.
top of some.
We kill Sir Leia. I give you all my soldiers with whoever else you've already amassed, and whoever else you may yet get to join you. And upon the end of this, I want to be the emperor.
Ooh, I don't know how I
Billy,
feel
your
about
dad's a
this.
bad guy.
My dad saying that or my mom?
That's your dad.
I wish to ask Tad a question.
By all means.
So you wish to be given the power to rule over everything, and yet you run a kingdom where it has a reputation of not being so welcoming to outsiders. Why should
That's
we give you that?
our kingdom is only not so welcoming because a lot of outsiders, and he motions towards Terrevon, wish to see our kingdom reduced to rubble. I wish for prosperity for all of Elisar. And I am strong enough to wield these blades and make sure they do not fall into the wrong hands again.
Why did you just leave my mom alone and pregnant all those years ago?
Ooh.
Ooh, family drama.
I was working with the current Archduke of Terrevon to take over Greldor and was caught. While held captive, I was also then turned to stone. And once released from stone, I, with the other captives who then got released, managed to break free and we started this kingdom here. With a little assistance, of course. And he points to an open roof, and you see one of the elder worms land. And he's like, "This is one of 4. With them, we will be unstoppable."
Tilly, I completely leave this decision into your hands because it is your
Yeah,
father.
this is on you,
Ah.
homegirl.
This has been a lot. You don't need to decide
Hold up. King Tad,
tonight.
what if we made an agreement to give you that power, to give you the swords, but you'd also give us a place of station as well?
Well, you're already friends of who would effectively be the Princess of Elisor, so of course.
True, but I, I don't know if I can speak for the others, but my goal in life isn't to be the plucky best friend of a princess. I want my own title as well.
How about this? I can't effectively rule everything from one place at one time. I would make you all my thanes of individual cities. You would report to nobody but me, but those cities would be your own.
Okay, this I can get on board with.
I'm still way too shocked to process all of this.
How about we just have that feast first? Let the food settle, help you decide.
Feast and a nap.
While
Everyone can make their decisions after that.
while talking, you hear horns sound, and you hear or see rather one of the guards burst into the great hall. Grisham and his men are coming,
Ah, shit.
and that's the end of this week's session.
Ooh.
Nice.